Hello to the side and back. My name is Tokika Uzuru, also known as Toki, and in today's video I will be talking about things that you should do before you decide to color your hair. But before I get into that, I need to talk about last week's video. To sum it all up, so much regret ended up getting me the worst last week because I don't think I was ready for it. And it seems like everything for that week was just going downhill and all wrong. So first, it took me about 3 to 4 tries to actually get the video recorded or filmed, because around like the first or second I either had to deal with the phone that I'm filming on not having enough space, or my mom calling in the middle of me filming, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to end up having to redo this anyway because I don't think I'll have the space for it. So I go deal with what my mom wanted me to deal with. I come back, I take a bit of a moment because walking outside, especially seeing as though it is spring and it is hotter outside. So then I went to go ahead and try to record the video again. And not enough space for me to properly record the entire video. Great. I'm getting angry right now. This is only Monday. So I decided to give myself a bit of a 10 minutes, 30 minutes before I go to try to film it again. And then the last time, it's fine. It's all fine. I get through it. It's about 14 minutes total. And I'm like, alright, cool. Tuesday and Wednesday, those are my editing days. Those went relatively smoothly. Well, Tuesday went relatively smoothly. Wednesday is was a bit of a problem at the end. So I did all of the editing, and it was time for me to export my video so I can put it onto YouTube. And there wasn't enough space on the phone for me to properly export the video onto my phone after I edited it. So I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning worrying about whether I would actually be able to put my video up on time. And in that span of time, I ended up trying to delete as much as I could off of the phone. Lo and behold, in me trying to figure out what is wrong and how can I have space on my phone, I messed with the wrong file, probably, and I couldn't even open up the editing software that I use on my phone to edit my videos, which meant, of course, I wouldn't be able to export the video even if the phone had space, because I couldn't open the app, the editing app. So it's Thursday now. I'm freaked out because I'm slightly scared that I'm going to end up having to completely re-edit my video and whether I would be able to put it out on time. So I came to the conclusion early enough in the day that I would just have to go ahead and take the original video and put it onto my laptop so I can go ahead and edit it from there and deal with the phone later. But that also meant that I had to quickly go through editing that entire video again. I did the block editing, and I took a bit of a break in between doing the block editing and doing all of the finalization stuff. And while I was doing the finalization stuff, this is the second time I had to go ahead and go through editing the video, I realized that the editing software that I was using on my laptop was messing with the quality of the video. And it was like around 1:30 when I found this out, and I'm like, this video is supposed to go out at 3 o'clock. I don't have time to choose a different editing software and re-edit this video for the third time. But I didn't like the quality, so I just decided that I was going to bite the bullet in this case and choose a different editing software and re-edit the video again. And that is the reason why the video was late, and I was absolutely annoyed with the video. It seems like almost everything kept going wrong. But all of that just to say, everything that happened there just completely stressed me out about the video. I feel like that video was cursed from the start. It's actually time for me to get into today's video, which should go a bit smoother. Again, today's video is going to be about all of the things you would have to figure out before you decide to dye your hair. Which also means I'm going to have to put out a big disclaimer when it comes to this video. This is stuff that I've learned from my own personal experience dyeing my own hair, as you can see by the end. I am not a licensed cosmetologist. I am not a hair color specialist or hair colorist. I have no professional license when it comes to bleaching and coloring hair. So take everything in this video with a grain of salt. Now, before you even decide to bleach and color your hair, you have to understand what your hair can handle. Understand your hair's limits. Super basic scientific stuff about hair, but I can't really explain it as much or in depth because I am not licensed. When it comes to your hair, it needs a balance of protein and moisture in order to be able to be classified as healthy. So taking care of your hair a few months prior to the process, to the entire coloring process, will allow there to be minimal damage, because there will be damage to your hair. That's actually just how bleaching works. The second thing is making sure that you have all of your supplies within this certain amount of time frame from when you decided that you were going to bleach and color your hair to when you actually do it. Some of the things you'll have to figure out in that span of time is what type of bleach do you want to use. There's the cream bleach where honestly I feel like it mixes better, and then there's the powdered bleach which you can get in the tub form or packet form depending on how much hair you are bleaching. Of course, I got the tub form, a lot of hair here. Then you have to figure out what level toner you should use, which from the mouths of professionals I've used as references for my own hair, they typically say don't go further than 30 volume. But just to be safe, keep it at a 20. It'll save you in general when it comes to bleaching your hair. Other things you might end up needing for at least mixing the bleach or whatever color mixture you are deciding to create. You need something to mix it in and mix it with. Something else that people don't really talk about in videos when it comes to bleaching their hair. Depending on the type of color that you want, you should also figure out whether you want to get a toner or something, or whether you're just going to end up using purple shampoo to tone your hair. But you would also want a neutralizing shampoo. This is supposed to assist in stopping any type of chemical process in your hair that's happening. Another quick info piece: when bleaching very dark hair, it could end up turning brassy or a bit yellow. So depending on whether you're going for warm colors or cool colors when coloring your hair, you might not have to neutralize the color. However, I would like to stick with blue when it comes to coloring my hair, so I will definitely have to figure out whether I need to tone my hair. I also have purple shampoo somewhere. And when it comes to hair colors in general, if you're only going to bleach your hair, you probably wouldn't need to worry about hair color in general. But if you're going to dye it a different color, then you would want a coloring product that just deposits color. But you only want something that deposits and possibly conditions your hair, because after that it is figuring out what your hair needs in that moment. Afterwards, last few tidbits before I end this video. 1. Always work in sections. 2. I highly suggest asking someone to assist you when it comes to this. Most of the time it's because people can't see the back of their heads. And depending on whether you've already colored your hair before, and you just need to see exactly where the demarcation line is, or this is your first time in which you would have to not have the bleach touch the roots. Can you tell that I watched way too many videos on coloring hair? The second thing I suggest when it comes to the process is, if you do have to re-bleach your hair, leave a decent amount of time in between the first bleach and the second bleach. Depending on the way that your hair is after the first bleaching, 3 days, a week, depending. And the last thing would actually just be try your best to enjoy the process, because it will be a long process. So doing things like putting on a show, probably not a show, because you do have to focus on you do have to focus on the fact that you are using chemicals. Put on something that won't take your complete focus away from what you are doing. And also make sure you have many towels that you don't mind getting messed up, or a shirt that you don't mind getting messed up, because the chemicals will also alter whatever piece of cloth it gets onto. Oh, wear gloves. I didn't feel like taking the box of gloves that I just have right over there out, again, because lazy. When it comes to the bleaching process, the chemicals could have a bad reaction to your hands. I don't know what type of bad reaction, I just know bad reaction. And when it comes to the color, it stains. The main reason why I wanted to do this video, now at least, is one, because I will be planning on re-dyeing my hair blue again. I just showed you the colors that I have. And yes, I will be filming, trying my best to film the process. However, I think it will just be me doing my hair, so who knows. That is all for today's video, and that will lead me into the stereotypical YouTuber outro, where I, as a stereotypical YouTuber, would ask you to do the following. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Once you subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of whenever I post. And if you want to be notified of each time that I post, turn the notification bell to all notifications. And don't forget to put any type of questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for future videos in the comment section down below. I'm about to go ahead and try to finish painting my nails, because I didn't do that this weekend. They're not supposed to be white. They were supposed to be blue, but I wanted to put a white base down to see how that works. And hopefully I'll end up showing how it looks on my Instagram, which will actually end up being in the description box below. I've been Toki Uzuru, and this is Toki saying Toki out.